I was sent this post from the 2X chromosomes subreddit, and the title hit me because I get accused of being a misandrist as well. So let's read the post together. She says, I'm 24, originally from a third world country, and my boyfriend is European, and we're both based in Europe in high paying corporate jobs. I've gone through SA at a very young age by a man, and since then, sexual harassment has not been a stranger in my life, much like any other woman. I've also studied and focused on gendered violence in conflict zones, which makes me even more well versed of the depravities of mankind against women and children. Coming to the gist of it, my boyfriend is a very gender equality oriented man and has never shown any misogynistic behavior towards me or any other woman. He has long term female friends. We've been together for almost a year, and the only fights we've had are regarding me being misandrist, meaning where I've made generalized statements about men, how I feel unsafe around most men, and similar stuff. He said that as an intelligent person, he expects me to not make generalized statements, and that if he said generalized things about women, I would immediately dump him. That's true. So I don't know what to do, as I find that I don't feel like changing my brand of misandry, as men in general have not given me any evidence that I can trust them as a social group. So I'm just here looking for some perspective. A man like this can sit back and look at these things and have strong feelings about misandrous. They can have these feelings. They can feel hurt. They can feel that things are unfair or whatever, but they don't have to care. They don't have to care about the fact that this woman is simply attempting to survive in a world where she knows firsthand and by other people's experiences that it is not safe to simply be born in a female body. It's not. We have seen time and time again that women and children are simply not safe. And women have got to do what we need to do for the sense of survival. And our sense of survival needs to be stronger than the urge to protect their feelings. That's the reason why when men come to my page, as I'm talking about the experiences of women, I talk about the experiences of women and I share the stories of women, and men flock to my pages to just decide that I'm a misandrist and that I'm bitter. And simply speaking on the experiences of women, which is typically at the hands of men, that makes me a misandrist. And to that, I say, I don't care about your feelings and I don't care what you call me, because women need to know and understand that we have the right to want safety. We need to have a sense of survival. And we have got to know and understand that the boogeyman who may actually harm us is what they look like. And it's typically a him, because the hymns are the ones that do 90% of the violence. And truthfully, men are the ones doing the majority of the violence to other men. So if we actually had some real conversations, some honest conversations about violence coming from them, then maybe they would be safer as well. Anyways, ladies, still do what you need to do in order to protect yourself. You know, if you see groups of them, be careful. Figure out what you want to do as far as giving your number out or not. Memorizing a Google number, giving your number out, and then immediately blocking and never ever going to that spot again. We have to do so many things in our day-to-day interactions with them just to remain safe. Being married, wearing your wedding ring, walking around with your kids. We know that that doesn't mean anything. And for him to be like, oh, if I were to do it, and who cares? Like, men coming to my page, well, if I were to go and make videos about women, I don't care. I don't care, because I don't go to your spaces. We don't go to their spaces caring. Like, literally, they're going to talk about women regardless. They are. But we have got to put our safety and our concerns for other women and children before their feelings. All right, let's see some of these comments. Majestic Daikon says, except he hasn't, I assume, been attacked by women and then heard other women justify it or play it down. He's not physically weaker than every woman around him. At this point, fear of men is a natural and learned response. Is what's going to keep you safe. Is what's going to keep me safe. Any man who gets weird about that is just waving a massive red flag in your face. And then Dahlia Foxy says this part. I think men forget that women are so easily overpowered. They don't forget, they know. My ex was the same height as me, and I was in pretty good shape, and he could still easily hold me down through a struggle. Being around larger men, especially, is terrifying. You need just one bad experience to remind you that you're small. King Altair says, and when you've been through said experience, it's hard as F to feel big in a way again. I wouldn't feel comfortable at all even defending myself verbally around physically large men if they were acting in an unnerving way. It's always in the back of my mind that you don't know how someone would react and that this guy could kick my in. Coexology says that feeling small thing is so crucial to men empathizing with us. Yesterday, I felt compelled to confront a bunch of eighth grade boys at my kid's school because they were effing around with a laser pointer, targeting other kids and the teachers while laughing. You know the drill. In that moment, I couldn't help feeling fortunate that these 13 and 14-year-old boys weren't more aggressive and dickish about it because almost all of them had a significant size advantage over me. I take strength training pretty seriously, but there's only so much I can do to compensate for being 5'2". That's why they tell us to run rather than fight. And I don't think that men truly know how scary that is. But we do. Ladies, we do. This is simply why you have got to turn down the voices of men, turn down their opinions to where they are insignificant. Don't listen to them because for whatever reason, they think that they should drill out your need to stay safe. Sometimes women are saying things like they're wondering why women don't have a sense of self-preservation. It's because it's been drilled out of us. It's been indoctrinated and socialized out of us. And we need to deprogram that and reprogram a sense of self-preservation. All right, y'all. Join the conversation. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. Okay, y'all. I admit it. One of my guilty pleasures is listening to men tell other men what women like when it's clear that they don't talk to women. So this was posted in the seduction subreddit. And yes, I love going into the seduction subreddit. I be wanting to type some stuff, but then I hold back. I can restrain myself. Listen to this. This man's name is Hunter PUA for pickup artist. He says, why girls like being ignored? We do? Okay, let's see why. He says this was inspired by another recent post on this sub by a guy asking why this is the case. Some might think it's about not looking needy, but this isn't the full story behind why ignoring women is so appealing to them. What's actually going on is women are taking men for granted more and more. It's partly because of how they talk to each other, constantly telling each other they're amazing and that any man would be lucky to be with them simply because they exist. There's also the fact that in 2024, it's extremely easy to get unlimited access to simps. Somewhat attractive girl posts something skimpy on Instagram and gets simped on. Somewhat attractive girl has an OF, gets simped on. Somewhat attractive girl posts something on Reddit, whether it's NSFW or not, and gets simped on. Somewhat attractive girl, even when they're fully covered up, like Pokimane streams on Twitch, gets simped on. Girl joins an online game where her face or body isn't even visible and gets simped on. Oh, and there's also this girl on a dating app equals hundreds of matches. And the thing is, none of us, man or woman, values anything or anyone that we perceive as a piece of cake. We value the things that require our effort. And the more effort we put into something, the more we value it. This is why when you try a video game or a sport, if it's too easy, you get bored of it really quickly. And since things are leaning by default towards making women believe that men are a piece of cake, you would need to do extreme things like ignoring them to make them realize they need to work to win you over. And then you can't just ignore her and then immediately do a 180 because she's showing you a lot of interest. You need to follow through and actually make her do work. This idea that a man has to do all the work when it comes to dating is just an extremely outdated lesson that is still widely being taught in society. This that was relevant during the times when women didn't take men for granted. It isn't anymore. Doing most of the work is also wrongly equated with taking the lead. A leader doesn't necessarily put in the most work. You tell me who works harder, the military during a war or the president who makes the executive decisions while he's tucked away and safe and cozy. You don't even have to look that far. You can compare a boss to employees. Even during X, when a man is being dominant and telling a woman to get on her knees and blow him like the good lady of the night she is, all he's doing is standing there with his peen in the air. Okay, this is nasty. Putting in the work is not equal to taking the lead. If you want to have stable interactions with women, as in interactions where things don't just come crashing down just because of one tiny BS thing, then make them work for you. Okay. You don't have to be extremely aloof with all women as long as you're just not letting them sit on their butts while you're trying to make everything happen. You'll have better success in dating. But if you come across a woman that responds really well to you ignoring her and you're interested in her, just do this. Ignore her. When she shows interest, give her breadcrumbs, just enough for her to think there's hope. If she's trying to get your attention, give it to her for a second and then challenge her. For example, she asks you what you think of her outfit. Just look at her and tell her it's all right. And then ask her if she's got anything better. That is negging right there. That's negging. Remember, we're not going for that anymore. Or if you don't want to be too shallow, you can ask her instead, is that all you care about? If she asks, what do you mean? Don't explain and talk about all the meaningful things in life. Just straight up command, show me something with more substance. If you want to go out with her, don't say, hey, want to go to X? Just say, I'm going to go to X tomorrow. Come if you like, and make it something you really want to go to. Prioritize your enjoyment over hers. If you want to go to a sports bar, go to a sports bar. And don't be any more specific than the example above. Let her worry about asking you follow up questions like what time you're going. While on the date, let her talk 90% of the time. If you want to pull, just say, okay, let's go. If she asks where, ignore the question and keep moving. If she insists on asking, just say, you don't have to come with me if you don't like. A girl that likes guys that ignore her will follow you like a puppy dog when you say something like that. If you think all of this is messed up, just hold out for the women who appreciate having proper conversations with you, even if it happens to be fewer than the ones who like to be ignored. At least to you, they will be higher quality women. Ladies, please keep in mind that my audience is 93 to 95% women. And I do know and understand that my audience is y'all. So I'm letting y'all know how these men are talking to you. Talking about you to other men. They really believe that they are the prize and that we should be scrambling for them, and they have not gotten the updated version of what is going on. That if they are not putting in any work, if they're not giving you any attention, it's like, I bet he's not interested. If he is showing that he is not interested in his actions, then you be like, I bet I got other things to do. We're not going to simply run around like a puppy dog. What? I'm a grown woman. What do I look like being a puppy dog? The nerve, the gall. I think the F not, Randall, Brad, Tyrone. I think the F not, sir. All right. A person ignoring me is the equivalent of there being like an oversized, dirty clown suit on the ground. That oversized, dirty clown suit is sitting there and it's available, and everybody is walking around it because nobody wants that oversized, dirty clown suit that is on the floor. I have no use for a dirty, oversized clown suit. That is going to sit there on the floor. That's going to be a place for a dog to pee on as it walks by, and that's it. And that is how you need to avoid men that think that they can ignore you, even if they have some interest in you. Absolutely, the F not. I beg your finest pardon, sir. Okay, but this person made a comment, and I'm only going to do one comment. He says, honestly, I don't understand women these days. I kind of just don't play by the rules. If I see someone with classic signs of, oh my God, you're so hot, I don't approach. I let them approach. They're already hankering. I live in a detached from outcome mentality these days, and you should stay detached. There should be nobody running to attach to you. Hot, average, less than average, alive, they should not be running to attach to you. All right, y'all. Let me know what you think about this one. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. So, this post was sent to me from a follower, and she sent this to me because she wanted to remind us all that we deserve better than this. And I think that, after all of these conversations, we know and understand that we definitely deserve better. But this type of rant, ladies, being single is better than this. Having just any man in your home and he's abusive, there's chaos, there's dysfunction. Being single and being stress free, or reducing their stress, is much better than this. So this was posted in the rant subreddit. She puts in quotes, and I guess it's from him, I wish you loved me like I love you. And then to that she says, you wish I called you names, degraded you, told you how much I don't love you and I'm going to leave you at the first opportunity I get. You wish I called you worthless and fat and ugly and a piece of and a lady of the night. You wish I got angry and threw things. You wish I told you I hate you and you're a piece of You wish I told you F you and I hate you. Wish I'd throw things? No. You wish I'd F you more. You wish I was more actual. How am I supposed to want to F when you just want to degrade me constantly? You scare my dogs. You scare me. Then, fun fact, you don't effing remember it. You ignore me for a week because you feel justified. We live in the same house and don't speak until we have to. Then you call me a selfish a-hole because I don't want to F because you call me all these horrible things, which makes me self conscious, super self conscious. Guess what? I'm wrong. I gained 60 pounds from the antidepressant I started taking. I'll clearly never have redemption, but that doesn't mean I need to deal with mental abuse. It's been 3 years now. I mean, yeah, you've gotten better. I don't have my getting smashed every night. Sometimes we're doing really well, but I'm sick of pretending like you don't treat me like I've deserved it, so I've taken it. But 3 effing years? I'm so over being verbally assaulted constantly because we don't F enough. And it's not that it's because you don't F enough, because even if you were effing enough, someone that is abusive will find any other reason to degrade you and put you down and try to make you small. And I don't know if this woman is salvageable. So, public domain kitty wants her to think of her own safety. And she has written all of these things out. When women write these things out, we know that there's something wrong. We know it's something wrong. She knows that this situation is not right. But I don't know if she's ready to leave the situation yet. But I want you to know and understand that someone being insulting, someone throwing things, someone, just giving you the silent treatment. This is not this is not a healthy relationship, and it's certainly not a good relationship to bring any children into or to have for the rest of your life. This type of mental anguish will jack up your mental and your physical health. Now, I'm going to tack this onto this post. I want to remind women not to make their relationship status their whole life. Don't make your marriage your whole life. Don't make being a mom your whole life, because if your marriage fails, you will be floundering. Once your kids leave the nest, you will be searching for a purpose. Please don't make being a mom and wife your whole life. Still keep you. You're an individual, you're a human with needs. You're not simply somebody's wife and mom. So this woman asked this question in Ask Old People Advice. She says, 37 years old and divorced. What's the meaning of this life? Please have a meaning before getting married. Please don't search for a meaning when it's time to get divorced. Don't do this. She says, I, 37-year-old woman, recently divorced after I caught my ex-husband cheating on me. He had zero remorse and didn't want to work on our marriage. We were actively trying to have a baby, and I was about to embark on the IVF route. He quickly moved in with the other woman and found his happy ending, I guess. Meanwhile, I literally had to pick myself up off the floor, work with lawyers to end this marriage of 11 years, and start over. I see no meaning to my life. Up until last year, I was looking forward to bringing a baby to this workday with this man I believe to be the love of my life. Now I am alone and on my own. As an introvert, I never had a big circle of friends, and most women my age are wives and moms. I'm sure what my purpose is. Maybe she meant I am not sure what my purpose is anymore. Work is fine, but outside of it, I feel like a nobody. What would you tell your 37-year-old self to do? I would say find your meaning right now, right where you're standing right now. What are your values? What do you overarchingly want to achieve? Figure that out before you bring someone else into it and stick with it. Yes, you can have couples goals, you can have family goals, you can have goals with your children, but you still need to have some purpose for yourself before getting married, because you do not want to lose yourself completely. Level Headed wrote out this amazing comment. She says, great question. What would I tell my 37-year-old self to do? First, you dodged a bullet, for real, 100%. It might have caught you blindsided, but you dodged a bullet. Imagine having done this with a 6 and a 4-year-old and an infant. Oh my God. Your life is just starting, honestly. So you feel a bit behind learning how to be on the team when you don't even do sports, figuratively speaking, or play them. Great. Clean slate. You have nothing going against you except maybe low confidence right now. Don't worry about it. You will catch up. You got blindsided a bit, it sounds like. You might be channeling your emotional experience now and some further continuation of telling yourself some illusions. His not working on being a huge clue that you have problems, and double down on your commitment, getting more committed. That's what normal, sane, married, committed people do, by the way. However, I bet if you look back a bit with clarity on his not wanting to even work on it, you'll see the signs were there all along, and he wasn't the right one for you. Probably not ever. It will take some time, but the most difficult thing won't be meeting someone worthy of your trust and that awesome commitment, but for you to not get jaded over relationships and men. And lastly, this is now your life. You have been living under the image that your job and task was a family and babies and a stable marriage. It doesn't mean it won't happen, but definitely this guy is not the one you need to ever shed more tears over. Cry for the lost hopes, disappointments, being a true believer and spending 11 years, only could have been a lifetime though, with someone. Cry over not knowing now what to do. I don't think that's true though, not yet. Sure, take some time to heal and recover. Don't give up. Don't give up hope, and don't base your life around your marriage now. You spent 11 years doing that, and the world just slapped you hard, and that is not your path. Instead, once you have done some healing and learning exactly what healing might also mean, Go back to who you were as a child and youth and recover your dreams outside of any of these things and find yourself again and stay true to that at all costs. You might get that family and a marriage like you wanted, but you're not completely in charge of it. What you are in charge of is not making this kind of mistake again, not losing yourself, and not getting jaded. Those are much harder things than leaving a decade in the past after the tears and the anger fade. Keep that chin up. P.S. Make a list of things that you might be afraid to try out, but always wanted to do. Rock climbing, learning to ride a motorcycle, learning a foreign language or a martial art. Let your inner adventurer realize she can try out some or all of those things now. Now is the time. You got us rooting for you. Come back and tell us how it went someday. Now, that last piece, I am telling you watching this, I'm rooting for you. Being a single and healthy you is way better than being a person that has completely lost herself, that is a complete shell or husk of herself after having everything sucked out or given away to your whole family. Yes, being a mom and a wife are those are important things, but you're important as well. And your whole humanity self is important as well. All right, y'all. Join the conversation. Let me know what you think of these two posts. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.
Get ready with me to dump my boyfriend. I just don't want him anymore. He's trying to tell me what to do, and I don't want nobody to tell me what to do. He's coming over for dinner. The only thing I'm serving is a goodbye. I miss being single. Look at that. See the red? I'm famous and I don't have time for a man. He was nice, but his time is up. His time is up. He hates lemon, so I'm wearing lemon. When you dump him, wear the fruit that he does not like. He never liked this shade, so I'm going to put it on. Okay. This is the outfit to dump my boyfriend. Never date a jealous man. It's not you, it's me. Okay. He just left and he cried. I feel bad. Why be friends? You don't want him? Just drop him.